Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone.
We're back, everybody. Welcome back to the Scored Sports with Lane Frank podcast. This is episode number 78. Yes, action-packed episode number 78 coming up for you. We got the NFL draft to unravel, NBA playoffs are underway, and MLB. So much news in MLB going on right now. We're going to talk a lot about it around the bases, top 5, and so much more. Stay tuned for this action-packed episode 78. Let's hop into it. Let's start off episode number 78, how we always do, with the headlines in the NBA. First thing I want to get through right here in the headlines is Ja Morant, everybody. Ja Morant gets hurt in Game 3 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Golden State Warriors. This is a great series. Ja Morant played great in that series against Timberwolves, which we haven't got to talk about yet. I mean, I thought Ja Morant played great. According to Team Morant's like, nah, Ja played like trash in that series. I don't think so. Ja Morant dropped 47 points in Game 2 against Warriors. Could have made the series competitive. It's a great Grizzlies team. Oh, the Grizzlies could win the series. No, Ja Morant gets hurt. It's not Jordan Poole's fault. Let me state that right there. Let me state out my Michigan guy right there. That is not Jordan Poole's fault. It's a bone bruise. You don't get a bone bruise by grabbing somebody's knee. Not even grabbing it. By flinching. Not even somebody's knee. That's all Jordan Poole did there. No malicious intent. Just going for the ball. Literally nothing Jordan Poole did wrong there, in my opinion. So, Ja Morant, I think, was a lingering injury. Now, I don't think Memphis Grizzlies can win the series without Ja Morant. Desmond Bane is a great shooter. He says he's the second best shooter on the planet behind Stephen Curry. Now, I don't know about that. You can put Klay Thompson up there. You can put a bunch of shooters up there above Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is a good shooter. Jonas Valanciunas is a great rim protector. Steven Adams is an even better rim protector. But without Ja Morant, this team cannot win a series. Now, Ja Morant, this is another time he's got hurt in the playoffs. No, Ja Morant, this is the first time really being in the playoffs. Now, 2 years ago, his rookie season, they were the play-in, didn't win that game, so they didn't make the playoffs. Last year, they made the playoffs against the Jazz, but Memphis Grizzlies last year were an 8 seed. They didn't really have that much of a fine chance, in my opinion. So this year was the first real chance they had, and they had a great series against Timberwolves, come back in so many games. Ja Morant was the reason why they won that series. Timberwolves could have swept them. Ja Morant didn't play well in that series. So Ja Morant's just an amazing player. Tough to see him go down right there. People love to compare him to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose always got hurt in the playoffs. Now, Derrick Rose got hurt in the playoffs. First time he's really on the scene. This is Ja Morant's really first time being on MVP caliber, superstar caliber on the scene, and he gets hurt in the playoffs. Now, I'm not comparing Ja Morant to Philly Derrick Rose right here. I'm not saying Ja Morant's got so many injuries down his way, but Ja Morant's injury prone, everybody. Got hurt last season, got hurt his rookie season, got hurt a bunch of times this season. Just a thing to look out for right there. Is Ja Morant injury prone? Leave your answer in the comment section. Let's move over to the Celtics-Bucks series. This series is a competitive series. Now, Game 3 was an interesting game. Refs were terrible. Ime Udoka said, yeah, we got to teach our guys to flop better if these refs are going to be like that. Now, Al Horford had like 4 chances at the buzzer to make the buzzer beer. He made it, but clock had already expired. Jason Tatum wasn't great in that game. Only had 10 points, but terrible efficiency. Jason Tatum always going to get 10 points, but he wasn't efficient at all in that game. Probably the reason why they lost that game. Refs could have been better, but can't complain about that. This is an interesting series, tied up 2-2 right now. It's going to be a great series. Who's going to win the series? At time of scoring is 2-2. Who's going to win the series? Leave your answer in the comment section. I think this is going to be a great series. I picked the Celtics to win the series before playoffs. I'm going to pick them to win the series again. Now, for the playoffs, I had a Suns, Sixers, finals, everybody. And I had the Suns winning that. Now, that could be a very well possibility. The Suns and the Sixers have had 2 very interesting Western Conference semifinal series. Suns won 2-0 at home court, but had a terrible time on the road. Now, the Sixers also had a terrible time on the road, going down 0-2. So both 1 seeds, Heat and Suns, both had a great time on the home, going up 2-0 at home, then going down 2-2, pretty much. Losing 2 games on the road. Road tripping tough for these teams right here. So Sixers tied with the Heat right now. Mavericks tied with the Suns. And I don't think the Mavericks are going to win another game this series. I think the Sixers will win the series against Miami. I think they kind of figured them out a little bit here. With Joel Embiid back there, but yes, that's a major component right here. Joel Embiid wasn't there for the first 2 games. Now he's back. Joel Embiid didn't win MVP this year. Nikola Jokic won MVP, which was the biggest news announced in the NBA this week. Nikola Jokic winning MVP. I don't want to give away my thoughts right now. Is he deserving of back-to-back MVPs? You're just going to have to wait and see. Nikola Jokic did win MVP. Now I want to round out this headlines in the NBA right here with Mike Brown being hired by the Sacramento Kings. Now, this is an interesting hire right here because Mike Brown is currently head coaching 2 teams right now. Steve Kerr is COVID, so he's head coaching of the Golden State Warriors right now. He's acting head coach, and he's obviously the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Team just got hired by. Now, I don't like how he got a 4-year deal. Mike Brown's an up-and-down coach. He was terrible at the Lakers, was okay with the Cavs first couple years, then terrible the next couple years with LeBron. Probably one of the main reasons why LeBron wanted to leave the Cavaliers the first time. So just an interesting hire right here. I don't think they should give him 4 years. Maybe give him 2 or 3 years. Get the Kings on their wheels. Get the Kings on their feet up again. Davion Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox. Then you get another guy. I don't know about the hire with Mike Brown right here. He can build up a team for a little bit, just not a long time. That's my thoughts on the Mike Brown hire right here. Do you think Mike Brown will be a good coach for the Sacramento Kings? He's obviously the acting head coach of the Warriors right now. A little bit strange thing to see there. See all the time in football, an offensive coordinator of the Rams. this year, gets hired by the Minnesota Vikings, but he's coaching the Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl, goes to the Minnesota Vikings the next day. This is a different story. He's the head coach right now of the Golden State Warriors, acting the head coach. He's going to be the head coach of Sacramento Kings the day the Warriors lose or the day the Warriors season ends. Interesting stuff right there with Mike Brown. Do you think Mike Brown's a good hire? Leave your answer in the comment section. Let's move to the NFL. We'll read a bunch of news. Now, I want to start out with draft day right here. I'm not going to break down any picks. I'm going to break down a big trade from draft day. A.J. Brown and Marquise Brown getting traded on draft day. Now, A.J. Brown going over to the Philadelphia Eagles, and as a Giants fan, picking up Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal, I'm like ecstatic. And I see, A.J. Brown gets traded over to the Philadelphia Eagles, our division rivals. Team we have to play twice a year. Now we have to defend him, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders. Jason Kelce is going to be great on the offensive line. I mean, Eagles had an amazing draft outside of the A.J. Brown trade. They picked up Jason Kelce's replacement, almost successor, and then center from Nebraska. This is just an interesting draft right here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Did a great job. Now, one player who wasn't traded on draft weekend was Baker Mayfield. Everybody, Baker Mayfield was not traded. Interesting stuff right there, Baker Mayfield not being traded. But do you think Baker Mayfield deserves to be traded? I mean, he wants to go to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll said, hey, I don't think we're going after a veteran quarterback. And I don't think they will either. They extended Geno Smith. They extended our guy, Jacob Eason, who we always talk about on the show. Well, I thought the Colts should have started last year when Carson Wentz was going to be here, but then Carson Wentz obviously was healthy. So interesting stuff right there. But yeah, Baker Mayfield not traded on draft week. Do you think he should have been traded? Jamie Garoppolo obviously wasn't traded. He's not going to go to the Falcons. They got Desmond Ridder. He's not going to the Titans. They got Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill. And the Falcons obviously have Marcus Mariota. So this is just interesting stuff right here for Baker Mayfield. I don't think he's going to the Panthers. They have Sam Darnold. They have P.J. Walker. They still have Cam Newton. They picked up Matt Corral. They don't need another quarterback in that room, in my opinion. So leave your thoughts on Baker Mayfield not being traded. But let's move to the MLB to round out these headlines. My New York Mets are play. Getting the first team to 20 wins. Yankees being the next team 20 wins. Then the Dodgers, and it's probably going to be the Angels next. So just this little bit of interesting stuff right here. You go over to L.A., you got the Angels and the Dodgers, two of the best teams in MLB. They go over to New York, you got the Mets and the Yankees, two of the other best teams in MLB. So just interesting stuff right here. West Coast, East Coast, L.A., New York. Four of the best teams in MLB right now. Now, I'm going to do my top five later on this episode, top five teams in MLB, where all these teams are on this list. So stay tuned for that. I mean, one more thing I want to talk about in the headlines right here is Bob Woodward, everybody. Now, if you don't know who Bob Woodward is the manager of the Texas Rangers, everybody. Texas Rangers is a good team. They spent a bunch of money this offseason. They got Mitch Garver. They got all-star second baseman and shortstops in Mark Simeon and Corey Seager, both all-stars, perennial all-stars every year. Then they used to have Joey Gallo, Don Maymore. They have first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. They have Nick Solak. They have John Gray. They have Dan Dunning. They have former top 10 pick Colby Allard at pitcher. So this is a good team, in my opinion. But with Bob Woodward as manager, they're a terrible team. Bob Woodward has had a couple incidents in the past. Now, if you remember from a couple years ago, in the 2020 season, Fernando Tatis Jr., really when he first burst onto the scene, hits a home run, grand slam, up 3-0 in the count, or up 7-0 in the game. And Bob Woodward says, hey, that's bad baseball etiquette right there. Who cares? It brings excitement to the game. It's a grand slam. Who cares? Brings excitement to the game. Now, there's another incident that happened this week, and on Mother's Day with Bob Woodward. Gleyber Torres hit a home run, walk-off home run, to win the game against Texas Rangers. Bob Woodward said, hey, Yankee Stadium's a Little League park. That's not a home run at any other park, which is true. It isn't a home run at any other park because it has a short porch. But who cares? We're in the dead ball era right now. We're in the dead ball era. If we had juiced baseballs like we did last year, any other year before that, that's a no-doubt home run. Now, I hate how we're in the dead ball era right now. I liked having the juice baseballs. I really liked having the juice baseballs. It brings more home runs, brings more excitement into the game. Now, this is obviously bad for baseball, but Bob Woodward saying, Yankee Stadium's a Little League park. Have some respect, man. This is Yankee Stadium we're talking about here. I'm not even a Yankees fan. Have some respect. That's about it for the headlines this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, usually, after we do the headlines, we do my favorite of the week. Now, this week, we're switching up. We're doing my favorite take of the week. My take of the week, my breakdown right here. Let's hop into it. The take I want to talk about this week is the Jordan Addison situation. Now, if you don't know who Jordan Addison is, he's a wide receiver, formerly from the Pittsburgh Panthers, won the Biletnikoff Award, was a sophomore last year. He's going to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft this year. I wasn't eligible for it this year, but will be next year in 2023 NFL draft. Will be a first-rounder, whatever school he's on. But Jordan Addison's an all-star player. Won the best wide receiver in college football last year, the Biletnikoff Award, if you don't know what that is. And Jordan Addison said, hey, after the season, he said, hey, I think I'm going to transfer to Texas. But he didn't. He stayed put. He stayed loyal to Pittsburgh. Now there's a whole controversy going on right now. Jordan Addison entered the transfer portal, probably going to end up at USC. People are freaking out saying, whoa. Lincoln Riley contacted him, gave him a $3 million deal. That's not right. That's not right. He wasn't even in the transfer portal yet. You can't do that. Well, this is an interesting situation right here. Now, that is wrong of Lincoln Riley on his part. But the people going at Jordan Addison, let me give you his side of the story right here. Jordan Addison, that's $3 million right there. That is a lot of money. Jordan Addison stuck it out for Pitt. He had his quarterback leave. He had his wide receiver coach leave. He had his offensive coordinator leave this offseason. And he said, hey, I'm going to stay at Pitt. I'm not going to go to Texas. I'm going to stay at Pitt, which he did. Then they bring in Kedon Slovis. He's excited. He goes through all of spring ball, says, I don't know about this team. I don't like Pat Narduzzi. Pat Narduzzi is not a perfect coach, in my opinion. He likes to run the ball a lot more than he likes to throw the ball. New offensive coordinator, doesn't like to throw the ball as much. I mean, Kedon Slovis is not a perfect quarterback. He's not Kenny Pickett at all. Kedon Slovis is a good quarterback, but he's not no Kenny Pickett. So he goes through spring practice, says, I don't know about this team. I'm entering my name in transfer portal. I'd rather play with Caleb Williams. I'd rather play with Bryce Young. I'd rather play with Quinn Ewers over all of these guys, over Kedon Slovis. Now, Jordan Addison, that's my take right there. It's a new QB. New system, new everything he's going through right now at Pitt. So he entered the transfer portal. He's going to get a lot more NIL money at wherever he goes to. I mean, it's going to be USC, could be Texas, could be Alabama with Bryce Young. That's my take right there. Jordan Addison is one of the best players in college football, a top 10 player in college football, enters his name to the transfer portal. Now, this is an NIL issue right here. Now, this is bad on Lincoln Riley's part. If Lincoln Riley doesn't land him, who he's going to get somebody. It's Nick Saban or Steve Sarkisian. Find a way to land Jordan Addison. That's wild right there. But I don't think they will. I think he might go over to USC, play with Caleb Williams. Just interesting stuff right there. But if that is true, that Lincoln Riley contacted him, gave him a $3 million deal, forcing the transfer portal. That's bad on Lincoln Riley's part. Now, what's Jordan Addison going to do? He's going to report him to the NCAA? No, he's not. He's probably going to take that contract. He's probably going to enter his name in transfer portal. Now, that's the right thing right there. But I'm not blaming Jordan Addison in this situation at all. I don't think anybody should be blaming Jordan Addison in the situation at all. The person to be blamed in this situation is either the NCAA, Mark Emmert stepping down because he hates this stuff. Mark Emmert, President of NCAA, stepping down because of all this NIL, transfer portal. Everything's wrong in college football right now. It's turning into almost free agency. It is. Xavier Worthy, Texas wide receiver, got offered a 6-figure deal to enter the name transfer portal. Didn't. Zay Flowers, Boston College is in the NIL market of the world. He got offered to go to USC, but he didn't take it. He stayed at Boston College. These some guys are staying loyal. I don't blame Jordan Addison for this situation at all. I blame Lincoln Riley, and I blame college football. Leave your thoughts. Those are my thoughts. That's my take of the week. Top 5 are, but this week's top 5 is I previewed it in the headlines. It's top 5 teams. And they'll be, before we get into top 5, I want to do 3 honorable mentions. First honorable mention is the Milwaukee Brewers. You can say, whoa, Milwaukee Brewers have a great record. Why aren't they on this list? Well, they've got Telez, who's a great power hitter, but power doesn't last forever. Christian Yelich has had some struggles. He always gets hurt. Now pitching can die out. I know they have Josh Hader, and I know they have Brandon Woodruff. I know they have Corbin Burns, which is a great, Devin Williams is a great pitching team, but I think that might die out also. Corbin Burns won Cy Young last year, great pitcher, but I might fall down a little bit this year. He has a lot more walks than last year, so he's on pace to throw a lot more walks than he did last season. So I have the Brewers as an honorable mention, not as top 5 team. But the Twins are not an honorable mention. I want to see the Twins in person this week against the Baltimore Orioles. Byron Buxton is for real. I have a take coming up at him later. Joe Ryan, their starting pitcher, rookie, is amazing. It's just a great team all around. They have Sonny Gray. They went all in. Gary Sanchez is even good. Carlos Correa's in the IL right now, but he's a great player. This is going to be a great team later on in the season, but right now, I have them as the 7th best team MLB. Number 6, the Houston Astros. Everybody, you always got to put the Astros up there. Even losing Carlos Correa, their replacement for him, Jeremy Pena, so far this season has been doing better than them. So this is a great team right here, in my opinion. They got some great catchers. This is a great team. Martin Maldonado, Yuli Gurriel, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, the cornerstones of this team. Kyle Tucker, how could I forget him? It's just a great team, in my opinion. Kyle Tucker's kind of struggling right now, but he's going to get things figured out. Same with Alex Bregman. These guys are going to get stuff figured out. It's going to be a great team, in my opinion. Houston Astros, 6th best team in MLB right now. Now, top to the real top 5 teams in MLB. Number 5, the Los Angeles, or should I say Anaheim Angels, but it makes sound saying Los Angeles. So, Los Angeles Angels and Los Angeles Dodgers are both on this list. 2 of the best teams in the MLB. Both top 5 teams in my opinion. So Los Angeles Angels, number 5 right now, Shohei Ohtani. The show MLB needed and wanted. Same with Mike Trout. Mike Trout tearing things up right now. Jared Walsh tearing things up. David Fletcher playing great. Even Brandon Marsh doing pretty well. Taylor Ward. This is a great team. Pitching-wise, everything. This is a great team in my opinion. I have the Los Angeles Angels as the 5th best team in the MLB. Number 4, the New York Yankees. Everybody now, the New York Yankees are a puzzling team. They have Kyle Higashioka at catcher. They have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's been doing great for them. That's a great sign for them right there. Again, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Again, Josh Johnson, who would have walk off for them on opening day. Aaron Judge tearing things up right now. This could be the best season ever as a Yankee since his rookie season. Now that rookie season, he batted .284. He had 55 home runs. That's going to be tough top right there. But Aaron Judge, he might be able to do it. Giancarlo Stanton's a great player also. It's just a good team, in my opinion. Yankees, solid around team. Anthony Rizzo, Gleyber Torres is starting to get things figured out after a terrible season last season. So the Yankees are the 4th best team in MLB. Now, number 3, and call me crazy, I'm saying the Los Angeles Dodgers are their best team in MLB. You're going to see who I have above them. Now, the Los Angeles Dodgers are a good team. Mookie Betts is struggling a little bit right now. He's going to get things figured out. But for right now, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers at number 3. Now, when I explain my number 2 team, you'll see why I have the number 2 team over the Dodgers. Number 3. Now, the 2nd best team in MLB is their division rival, the San Diego Padres. Now, Manny Machado is the best batting average in the MLB at 381. Who's the second best batting average in the MLB, you could say? Oh, it's Eric Hosmer, their first baseman. Now, you look at quality starts, one of the most important stats in the MLB. The top 3 leaders in quality starts are all their starting pitchers. Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, and Sean Manaea. Now you mix in Blake Snell, Mike Clevenger in there when they get healthy. I'm going to see Blake Snell play tonight in AAA. This is a great team, in my opinion. When Fernando Tatis comes back, this is just an amazing team. Ha-Seong Kim's an amazing defender. You can play Tatis at DH. You can play Ha-Seong Kim at shortstop, one of the best shortstops in the game defensive-wise. This is just an interesting stuff right here. San Diego Padres, that's why I have them as the second best team they'll be. Don't have the second best record or anything like that. San Diego Padres might even win this division. San Diego Padres, second best team they'll be right now. Now, number 1, my New York Mets are the best team they'll be everybody. Now, you can call me crazy. You can say, whoa, how do you have the Dodgers not above them? How do you not have the Yankees above them? How do you not have the Angels above them? My New York Mets were the first team in 20 wins. Cisco Lindor has been tearing things up. That comeback the other night. I mean, the no-hitter, Edwin Diaz, Tyler McGill. Tyler McGill, what a find. You miss Jacob DeGrom into that rotation. It's going to be a filthy rotation. You might even have to go 6 guys. You're going to have to go Jacob DeGrom at ace. You're going to have to go Max Scherzer at number 2. You can go Carlos Carrasco at number 3. You can go Dave Pearson in there whenever you need to start. You can go Taijuan Walker in there. You can go Tyler McGill in there. This is just Chris Bassett. How can I forget him? This is an amazing team, everybody. Now, Taijuan Walker struggled a little bit the other night. Gave up 7 runs. Now, the Mets are down 7-1 in the 9th inning. And guess what happened? Mets scored 7 runs in that 9th inning, make magic happen, go down from 7-0 earlier on in the game, go down from 7-1 in the 9th inning, and win the game 8-7. That's the Mets magic right there. Winning again the no-hitter, getting that crazy comeback. Joe Girardi said, that's the worst loss of my career. That is. Yeah, that Joe Girardi that was definitely the worst loss of his career. Then they get no-hit a week earlier against Mets no-hit the Phillies a week earlier. Edwin Diaz, like I said. Great game for him. Just great pitching. Drew Smith, Joely Rodriguez, James McCann, leader of that no-hitter, you could say, at catcher. Even though he didn't pitch at all, he's a catcher. He led those guys at pitcher. James McCann, one of the best defensive catchers in the game, in my opinion. That's my top 5. Leave your answer in the comment section. Now, I didn't know, everybody. This week's Didn't Know, it's a great one. Did you know the New York Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since before the moon landing? Now, the Jets' last time they won a Super Bowl was before the landing on the moon. So that's just a crazy stat right there. Before the landing on the moon, the New York Jets hadn't won a Super Bowl. So the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since the landing on the moon. Then now Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson, Garrett Wilson, Zach Wilson, all these guys can help out that. Maybe the Jets can win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Leave your answer in the comment section. Do you think the Jets can win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? It could be possible. That's a stacked AFC right there. I'd say give them 7-8 year window right there. Sauce Gardner's going to be an amazing DB for them. Didn't know that? Leave that in the comment section. That's about Didn't Know this week. So the big news of the week in the NBA was Nikola Jokic winning MVP by back-to-back years. Whoa, congratulations, Nikola Jokic. We were saying, whoa, Nikola Jokic does not deserve back-to-back MVPs. Okay, I agree with that statement. I really do. But Nikola Jokic deserves MVP this year. Maybe not last year. Now, let's define the word MVP. Most valuable player. Not most outstanding. I did an award show. I said Joel Embiid's the most outstanding player in the NBA. Nikola Jokic is the most valuable. Last year, in the NBA award show, I said Nikola Jokic is the most outstanding player in the NBA, just not the most valuable. Most valuable last year was Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry played with no All-Stars, had one of the best seasons of his career, and should have won MVP last season. So if we're going to bring him back there, let's bring him back there. Steph Curry should have won MVP last season. Nikola Jokic was playing with All-Stars. He's playing with Jamal Murray. He's playing with Michael Porter Jr., no scrubs. Now this season, Nikola Jokic was playing with virtually nobody. No Jamal Murray. No Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon's not that good a player anymore. So Nikola Jokic definitely deserved MVP this year. Joel Embiid's playing with James Harden. He's playing with Tobias Harris. He's playing with Tyrese Maxey. He's playing with all these superstars. He should have won most outstanding player if that was award. That's what it should be. No, it's most valuable. Now, Nikola Jokic deserved MVP this year. Does he deserve back-to-back MVPs? No. But that's my debate right there. He shouldn't have won it last year. Should have won it this year. Now, let's take it back over here to football a little bit. Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs in the NFL this year. Now, last season, Aaron Rodgers probably shouldn't have won MVP. You could say, it should have been Derrick Henry. Let's say it. Give it to Derrick Henry. Aaron Rodgers was the most deserving player of MVP this season. Just maybe not the season before. So, kind of a problem right here with back-to-back MVPs. A back-to-back MVP should be a player who is unanimously voted. Like Steph Curry, 2015 and 2016. Unanimously voted in 2016 and then deserved it in 2015. Nikola Jokic wasn't the most valuable player last year. He was the most outstanding player last year. He wasn't the most outstanding player this year. He was the most valuable this year. That's my take right there. That's my MVP take. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. It's It's that time of the episode, everybody. It's the MLB news part. Around the bases, everybody. That's what we call here if you're new on the show. But around the bases, everybody, let's start off right here in the round bases. I went to a Baltimore Orioles game this week against the Minnesota Twins, which was a great game. Byron Buxton played great. Gary Sanchez played great. Twins won that game. I think it was 6-2 at the final score. But Baltimore Orioles Stadium, Camden Yards, is a great stadium to go. It's an amazing stadium in the MLB. If it's 45,000 fans, guess how many fans were there? 6,000 fans. Now, I'm going to put a picture on the screen over here of the stadium, which was, nobody was at the stadium. It was a terrible thing to see right there because the Baltimore Orioles are the bottom of the league, and they're a low-market team pretty much. That's the problem with MLB. Low-market teams can't compete. Now you go to New York, you see the Mets. Oh, it's sold out, everything like that. Not because they're contenders. You see, maybe 2017 season, the Mets are terrible. They still get sold-out crowds. It's a growing problem that will be everybody. Bad teams, low-market teams, are getting absolutely no fans. It's not even a bad part of it. It's a low-market team part of it. The Oakland A's aren't the worst team that will be, but they're a low-market team. And they get 2,000 fans a game in a stadium that fits like 40,000. That's sad right there. That's terrible. It's a growing problem that will be. You see Jonathan India, reigning rookie of the year, taking a picture with a guy who wears the shirt. Sell the team, Bob. Talking about Bob Castellini, the owner of the Reds. Even the players kind of agreeing at this point. I don't know if you recognize that, Jonathan India, but fans want owners to sell the team because the Reds, they're probably going to have to relocate the team if they can't keep this up. They get no fans. They were good last year. They'd trade everybody. They'd trade Juan Yosoris. They'd trade Jesse Winker. They probably are going to have to trade Joey Votto at some point. They'd trade Sonny Gray. They'd get rid of Trevor Bauer a couple years ago because they couldn't pay him. It's a growing problem that will be everybody. Low market teams can't do anything. And I've talked about it before, but just low attendance, all these reasons are a big problem right here. And then will be just sad for game baseball. Seeing the Oakland A's, who are probably going to have to relocate to Las Vegas. Seeing Cincinnati Reds, who are probably going to have to relocate to Nashville one day. Sad stuff right here for the MLB. So low market teams get absolutely no attendance. It's a bad problem. MLB. It's one of the worst attendance seasons ever in the MLB. Ever. Tampa Bay Rays are a good team. They get terrible attendance every single year. So it's not just a bad team thing. It's a low market team, everybody. Now that's my take again on the growing problem that will be. That's about for down the bases this week. Stay tuned. Now, we've never done this on the show, but it's my MLB hot take show. We're going to do this about every month. I'm going to give my hot takes so far throughout the MLB season, what I've seen so far. Now, this isn't a bold prediction type of thing. I'm not saying, Byron Buxton's going to win MVP. I'm going to talk about how Byron Buxton's doing right now, where he stands right now. Let's hop into it. These are my MLB hot takes 1 month into the season. Now, the first one I'm bringing up right here, the Los Angeles Angels, so far through the season, are the best show in baseball. The show baseball wanted, and the show baseball needed, unfortunately. Shohei Ohtani is probably the best show in baseball, probably the best show baseball's seen in the past 30 years, you could say. Mike Trout's an amazing player. He could go down as the greatest player of all time once all said and done, accolades-wise. He's probably not going to get 3,000 hits. He's probably not going to get 500 home runs, which is a sad thing right there. But Mike Trout's an amazing player, but Angels are the best show in baseball right now. Maybe get a little bit more, better pitching, but they're building on that. But the team's not going to win the World Series this year, but they could get to the World Series, in my opinion. Angels, the show baseball wanted and the show baseball needed. The best show in baseball season so far are the Los Angeles Angels. Now, my next hot take right here is Eric Hosmer had a bad season last year, had a bad season before that, and people were saying, he's going to get traded. Remember, before the season, Eric Hosmer was about to get traded to the New York Mets for Dominic Smith with Chris Paddock, but he didn't. Eric Hosmer, in my opinion, will get MVP looks this season. He's batting 360 right now, which you probably can't keep that up. Big insane 300s. He's definitely getting MVP looks, in my opinion. I'm trying to convince you on this right here. Eric Hosmer is an all-star first baseman. He can hit a lot of home runs. He can get on-base punch. Has one of the best on-base percentage right now. From the best OPS right now, on-base plus slugging. And he has the best average in the MLB right now behind his teammate, Manny Machado, batting 381. So Padres are a great team. I'm going to bring up later in this hot take show. But Eric Hosmer does get MVP looks, in my opinion. Now, another big hot take I have right here. Kyle Schwarber, who used to be a Chicago Cub, who used to be a Washington National, who used to be a Boston Red Sox, now, if you're the Philly, is the best power hitter in the NL. There's no debate about it. Now, that may just be me as a Mets fan talking because I've been torturing back with Kyle Schwarber as a Mets fan. When he was on the Nationals, he tortured the Mets. When he was on the Red Sox, with that one series they had against the Mets last season, Kyle Schwarber was great in that series. And now this season with the Phillies, it's just terrible, Kyle Schwarber. It's sad to see as a Mets fan, Kyle Schwarber tearing things up. I think he's the best power hitter in the NL. He has a terrible average right now. He's batting the 100s right now, but he's the best power hitter. When he gets a hit, it's a home run. No debate about it. He had 2 home runs out of Max Scherzer. One of them, on one knee, Kyle Schwarber hit a home run. He's one of the strongest players in the MLB right now. He's the best power hitter in the NL, in my opinion. It could be Matt Olson, it could be somebody else, but Kyle Schwarber is a great power hitter, the best power hitter in the National League right now, and I think he might even get an invite to the Home Run Derby this year. Almost won it a couple years ago when he was on the Chicago Cubs against Bryce Harper, but then Kyle Schwarber, great player in my opinion, the best power hitter in the NL. That's one of my hot takes. Now, another hot take about first baseman is Spencer Torkelson, everybody, former number 1 pick out of Arizona State, 2020 number 1 overall pick. Now, He's backing up Miguel Cabrera, and I still playing a lot where he's 3 home runs. I think he finishes the season with 30 home runs and wins AL Rookie of the Year. Now, he's a great player, Spencer Torkelson. He's going to go on a crazy streak one week, I think, maybe in July, where he hits 7 home runs. Miguel Cabrera already said, oh, he's better than me. He's better than me. Spencer Torkelson has a chance to be a Hall of Famer. Spencer Torkelson has a chance to win MVP in the next 3 years. That's no joke. Spencer Torkelson is an amazing player, in my opinion. Spencer Torkelson, just a great player. I mean, Tigers aren't doing too great right now, but he's going to get things figured out down the way. Javi Baez going to get things figured out. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they can maybe get up to 80 wins at their peak. But Tigers not doing too great right now. But Spencer Torkelson is doing pretty well right now. I think Spencer Torkelson wins AL Rookie of the Year right here and gets up to 30 home runs, is the best rookie in the MLB right now. Spencer Torkelson hits 30 home runs in his rookie season as a first baseman and gets up to 270 average, let's say, in his rookie season. Now, my next hot take is Byron Buxton, the Minnesota Twins, will win MVP in the AL this year. Now, I already said it was going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but I'm switching off my pick. I'm going Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton is the fastest player in baseball. He's definitely one of the best fielders in baseball. He's one of the best power hitters in baseball. Byron Buxton is an amazing player to play. Byron Buxton is such a great player right now. He's the best player this season in baseball out of all leagues, National League and American League. I think he wins MVP in the American League right now. I'm switching off my pick from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Seeing Byron Buxton in person, he's amazing, everybody. Byron Buxton, amazing player. I think he wins MVP season 9 at MLB. Now, those are my hot takes for the week. We're going to do a hot take next month. I'm going to be hot takes, but that's my hot takes for the month of April going into May. Now, those are my takes. Leave thoughts in the comment section. Now, for those of you who watched the show a long time ago, I am a huge New York Giants fan. My New York Giants took Kayvon Thibodeau and took Evan Neal. They're 2 draft picks. Now, they should have probably taken Ikem Ekwonu with number 5 pick and then waited to get Kayvon Thibodeau number 7. But nonetheless, I'm happy with Evan Neal. Now, I'm going to talk about Evan Neal in a minute right here. But I want to talk about Kayvon Thibodeau right now. Kayvon Thibodeau has one of the worst self-confidence in my opinion. Now, he's very confident in himself, but it's a weird type of confidence. He's a player you don't want to play. I mean, not because he's the freak on the field, but because he is so annoying. Now, Kayvon Thibodeau has the pretty much attitude issue. It's an annoying issue with Kayvon Thibodeau. But he said, oh, I'm way better than Evan Neal. Remember before pre-draft, Kayvon Thibodeau said, I'm way better than Evan Neal. I actually go over number 1 over Evan Neal. Now they're teammates, everybody. And there are clips of Evan Neal crushing him in high school. So I don't know what Kayvon Thibodeau's talking about right there. Kayvon Thibodeau has an ego, is a big brand. It's interesting stuff right there, Kayvon Thibodeau. He's a great pass rusher if he can keep things controlled. He's not going to get into fights. He's not going to get arrested. He's not going to do anything of that for you. But he's going to be annoying on the field. He's going to have attitude issues. That's what I think the problem's going to be right there for Kayvon Thibodeau, my New York Giants. He's an elite pass rusher, second best pass rusher in the strap behind Ian Hutchinson. Interesting stuff right there with Kayvon Thibodeau. But what do you think about Kayvon Thibodeau going to the New York Giants? I'm certainly kind of happy about as a New York Giants fan. I wish he went to them at number 7. I wish we got Ikem Ekwonu at number 5. Nonetheless, happy with Evan Neal. Evan Neal has some issues at Alabama, played at left tackle and right tackle, which is a great thing right there. He's very dynamic. Went to the season as probably a projected top 3 pick. Didn't end up being top 3. Hasn't the best tackle in college football this year. But nonetheless, was a consensus All-American. Kayvon Thibodeau is a unanimous All-American right there. But Evan Neal, good player. Happy with this pick. Like I said, wish we got Ikem Ekwonu. I think he's better. Run blocker, which the Giants probably need right now. Evan Neal can kind of run block for you, but he's more of a pass blocker. That's what we have with Andrew Thomas, in my opinion, and Nate Solder. But nonetheless, happy with these picks from the New York Giants. Leave thoughts in the comment section. That's about Forgot the Buzzer this week. Now, best for last question. This week's question is, who will be the first 1 seed in the NBA? I don't think they both make the finals. I really don't. I think the Suns probably make the finals, not the Miami Heat, though. I think the Miami Heat with the first 1 seed drop, and I think it's going to be this series. But if 1 seed drops before the NBA finals, who will it be? Will it be the Suns or the Miami Heat? Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about for question this week. That's about for Squirt Sports Land Frick, episode 78. Glad to be back. Stay tuned. Follow Squirt Sports on Instagram at Squirt Sports. Follow Squirt Sports on Twitter at Squirt Sport. Follow Squirt Sports on TikTok at Squirt Sports. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review for the best sports content in the game. We'll be back next week, episode 79. Stay tuned.